If your engine regularly sees serious heat, whether that's from towing, turbo boost, long highway pulls, stop-and-go traffic in extreme summer temperatures, or hard driving, the oil inside that engine is working under conditions most drivers never think about. And here's the part that matters. Just because a bottle says full synthetic doesn't mean every synthetic oil is equally suited to every high-temperature application. Some formulations are designed around demanding performance requirements. Some are optimized for everyday street driving. Some are built specifically for high-performance or racing applications. Today I'm going through 8 synthetic oils I'd seriously consider when extreme engine heat is part of the equation. But I'm doing this differently. I'm not going to tell you one brand magically survives temperatures that destroy every other oil. And I'm not going to tell you the most expensive bottle is automatically the best. Instead, we're looking at what actually matters when oil gets hot. Oxidation resistance, viscosity stability, high temperature performance, deposit control, formulation technology, intended application, and most importantly, whether the oil actually matches the engine you're putting it into. After more than 20 years around engines, that's how I'd make the decision. Let's start with number 8, Valvoline SynPower. This is a good example of why you shouldn't confuse a familiar name with an inferior product. SynPower is positioned as a full synthetic passenger car oil designed for demanding operating conditions. I'm not putting it here claiming it outperforms every premium synthetic in extreme heat. I'm putting it here because for a properly matched street application, a modern full synthetic from a major manufacturer provides very reasonable protection without racing oil money. If you're driving a normal daily vehicle through a hot summer, you're not automatically better protected just because you bought the most exotic oil on the shelf. Your engine's required viscosity and specifications come first. SynPower makes sense when the exact product matches the engine. Number 7, Castrol EDGE. This one's designed around maintaining oil film strength under demanding conditions. The question isn't, does the oil get hot? Of course it does. The better question is, how well the formulation keeps doing its job as temperature, load, and stress increase, which is where viscosity behavior, oxidation resistance, and high temperature performance matter. But I wouldn't pour EDGE into an engine just because someone called it a high heat oil. I'd turn the bottle around, check the viscosity, check the performance specs, and confirm it matches what the manufacturer requires. A great oil in the wrong application is still the wrong oil. Number 6, Liqui Molygen. This gets a lot of attention from European car enthusiasts. It's positioned as a performance-oriented lubricant with a distinctive additive approach, available in different viscosities for different applications. But an oil doesn't become superior just because it has an impressive additive story. The finished lubricant is what matters, meaning base oils, additives, viscosity modifiers, and performance requirements all working together. So if you're driving a turbocharged European vehicle in a hot environment, the question isn't, is Liqui Moly better? It's whether this exact Molygen product meets your engine's requirements. Number 5, Motul 300V. Here's where the conversation changes. Motul has a long motorsport history, and 300V is built around high-performance applications using ester-based technology known for strong film behavior and high-temperature performance. But I wouldn't automatically recommend 300 volts to someone with a completely stock daily driver just because it costs more. If you're doing track days, sustained high RPM, or running a high-performance build in genuinely severe heat, it becomes far more interesting. For a normal commuter, the correct OEM spec and maintenance schedule likely matter more than a racing-oriented lubricant. Number 4, Redline High Performance Motor Oil. This one gets serious attention from performance enthusiasts for a technical reason. It uses a synthetic base oil formulation, including PAO and ester components, depending on the product, engineered for demanding conditions. It's particularly interesting for modified engines and vehicles that genuinely see high load and high temperature. But PAO and ester don't automatically mean best. The additive system, viscosity, engine design, and required specification all still matter. If you have a performance engine working hard in extreme temperatures, Redline deserves a serious look. If you're driving a normal commuter, ask whether you actually need what you're paying for. Number 3, Amsoil Signature Series. Amsoil has built its reputation around synthetic lubricants and extended drain applications, particularly relevant for vehicles under sustained load. But don't hear extended drain and think you can ignore your maintenance schedule. Extreme heat, towing, fuel dilution, short trips, and severe service change what your engine and oil are dealing with. A high-quality synthetic gives you a greater margin of protection. It doesn't override the laws of chemistry or your owner's manual. Signature Series makes sense for the right application when someone deliberately wants a premium formulation and understands what they're paying for. Number 2, Royal Purple High Performance Motor Oil. Royal Purple has built its reputation in the enthusiast community, but the purple bottle shouldn't make the decision for you. The formulation and specifications of the exact product matter. Royal Purple offers different products for different applications, so I have a performance car, therefore I need Royal Purple isn't enough. Check the exact viscosity, the exact specs, the intended application, then decide. For an enthusiast vehicle or an engine regularly seeing higher loads and temperatures, it's worth investigating. Number 1, Mobil 1. Specifically the higher tier formulations built for demanding applications. I'm not putting it here saying every Mobil 1 product beats everything else on this list. I'm putting it here because Mobil 1 has an enormous development history behind its synthetic lubricant technology, including turbocharged engines and severe operating conditions. And when we're talking extreme heat, that kind of experience matters. But the same rule applies. Don't buy Mobil 1 because the bottle says Mobil 1. Choose the exact product, the correct viscosity, verify the required specifications, and match it to the application, because Mobil 1 isn't one single formulation. Now, the most important part of this whole video, these 8 oils are not some magical group that can survive anything. Several things determine how an oil performs when heat goes up. Oxidation resistance as oils exposed to high heat and oxygen over time. Oxidation can contribute to thickening, deposits, and degradation. Viscosity behavior at high temperature. Your engine needs an oil film that stays appropriate for its clearances and operating conditions. Volatility. Some oil components evaporate more readily under high heat, and controlling that matters for oil consumption and maintaining the intended properties. Deposit control, especially important in turbocharged engines where lubricant temperatures spike. And fifth, probably the most important for the average driver, using the correct specification and viscosity. Here's a mistake I see constantly. Someone hears thicker oil is better in extreme heat, so their engine calls for 0W20 and they pour in 5W30 or 10W40 thinking thicker automatically means stronger. It doesn't work that way. Your engine was engineered around a particular viscosity and performance requirement, so unless the manufacturer specifically allows another viscosity, don't invent one because of something you heard online. And there's another mistake. Someone buys a premium racing oil because their engine runs hot, but it doesn't meet the specifications their vehicle actually requires. That's not an upgrade. That's gambling. So change the question. Don't ask what's the toughest oil. Ask what's the right oil for this engine operating under these conditions. Towing a heavy trailer through summer heat is one application. Running a turbocharged car on a track is another. Commuting 20 minutes through city traffic daily is completely different. Building a modified high horsepower engine under sustained high RPM is another category entirely. The oil that makes sense for one may not be the oil I'd choose for another, which is why I wouldn't tell you to blindly buy any of these 8. I'd investigate them, compare specifications, check the manufacturer's technical information, and match the oil to the engine. So here's the summary. Valvoline SynPower sensible for the right street application. Castrol EDGE interesting for demanding everyday and performance use when specs match. Liqui Molygen worth considering for the right European and enthusiast applications. Motul 300V particularly interesting when you're genuinely pushing an engine hard. Redline High Performance a serious option for performance and modified builds. Amsoil Signature Series a premium synthetic worth it when application and maintenance strategy justify it. Royal Purple High Performance, another enthusiast option worth evaluating carefully. And Mobil 1, a very strong all-around choice with deep synthetic development history. But here's my final verdict. I wouldn't buy an oil because somebody tells me it's number 1. I wouldn't buy an oil because the bottle looks expensive. And I definitely wouldn't buy an oil simply because it says full synthetic. I'd start with the engine, check the owner's manual, verify the viscosity, verify the required performance spec or manufacturer approval, then look at how the vehicle is actually being used: towing, turbo, track, extreme summer temperatures, long highway pulls, stop-and-go traffic. Those conditions matter. Only after answering those questions would I start comparing formulations and price. Because the goal isn't the most expensive oil, it's the oil that gives your engine the protection it needs under the conditions you actually put it through. That's the difference between buying oil and actually choosing lubricant protection. So remember this the next time you're standing in the parts store looking at 8 different bottles. Extreme heat doesn't automatically mean you need the most expensive oil on the shelf. It means understanding what your engine requires and choosing a formulation that can handle the job. Now I want to hear from you. What oil are you running right now? Tell me the brand, viscosity, vehicle, and mileage in the comments. And if your engine regularly sees extreme heat, tell me what kind of towing, turbocharging, track driving, desert temperatures, or something else. Your experience could help somebody else make a better decision. In the next video, we're going even deeper because there's something happening inside motor oil when temperatures climb that most drivers never see: oxidation, viscosity changes, deposits, and the point where the oil's protective properties start changing. Once you understand what's actually happening inside that engine at extreme temperature, you'll never look at a bottle of synthetic oil the same way again.